everyone, it's Asia Dang. Welcome to 2023. I decided that a chop was going to give me life, a sense of renewal and refreshment going into 2023. So here we are, new Asia is here. I know I might look like a school teacher right now, but it's perfect timing because we're talking about budgets. So today we're going to go over the December budget, which was getting a little bit scary there, and then we're going to just go over my plan for the first month of January of 2023. So let's just go ahead and get started. So as I set this up, I hope everyone had a safe and fun New Year's Eve. We kind of just had dinner with our friends at 8 p.m., got back at around 11:30, and then we were in bed by 12:15. So it was like the perfect, what am I looking for? It was the perfect New Year's Eve, in my opinion. As you can see, we have the 2022 digital planner out. I also have my 2023 dated planner that we'll go over for the month of January. And then here's a little sneak peek of a daily planner we're still working through. As you can see, I'm making notes and stuff. So just a little sneak peek of what's to come in 2023. So all of my expenses are written out for the whole month. So let's just start adding it up. Now, transportation, I actually spent a lot on transportation this month. I am actually pretty shook of how expensive it is to charge a Tesla. I had no idea. My haircut was $185. That included tip, and it also included kind of like a styling product. So we did actually spend a lot of money on the dogs this month. I'll go into that probably when we go over the budget for next week. But Luke, my guy, it's always a struggle with that boy. Okay, so here's what I wanted to talk about. We spent a week in Houston. We normally go to Houston for Christmas because my family are flight attendants, so they're always flying to get like double pay. So holidays for my family, the Dang family, not that big, but his family is huge on, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. But it was the first time we actually bought groceries because we normally stay at like an Airbnb or a hotel. But this time we brought the dogs along and we were there for about 8 days. So I went to H-E-B. For the first time ever. I always thought that it was like an Asian market for some reason. Very, very wrong. And I have to tell you, I now realize why a lot of you think that my grocery budgets are insanity, like what I spend on groceries every month, because the H-E-B prices are crazy. And apparently if you shop at Kroger, it's even more cheaper than H-E-B. But the groceries that I spent, we basically got a ton of proteins, we got a ton of veggies, just the usual stuff you would get for a week worth of food. And I only spent, well, this is for like the other occasions, but for the most part, the very first time we went to H-E-B, I spent $180. Something if I were to buy it here in my neighborhood, it would have been at least $300. So I know my grocery budgets are out of control, but clearly I can't help it because I don't have an option around me that is affordable like H-E-B. But also what we decided to think about was, as we were staying at our Airbnb, we thought of maybe buying an investment property in Houston because we go there quite often throughout the year and we spend so much money on hotels and so much money on Airbnbs. For a week in the Airbnb we stayed at, it was $2,000. Can you believe it? Granted, it was a fantastic Airbnb. We'll probably stay there again, but it just really got us thinking like, maybe we should buy something in Houston since we can afford that versus like continuing to save up in LA and then rent it out for short-term rentals, and then we can stay there or our friends can stay there when we need to. That's something that Brian and I just literally discussed last week. So I don't really know the whole process of everything, but it's also coming at a time where I am not super in love with the idea of home ownership, because in my opinion, as I'm like just watching all of my friends who are buying houses and stuff, they're like regretting it. And also, I don't know, I think even though it's seen as an asset, is it really? Because you're going to continue to spend all of this money to upkeep it every year. Even if you pay it off, you're paying a ton of, taxes, property taxes and all that stuff. So until you actually sell the house, in my opinion, it's kind of not an asset. So how can we buy a house and make it an asset? So I was thinking of something like an investment property that we can continue to get money for ourselves from. Anyways, I'm like blabbing on, but that's just what I was thinking. Okay, so here we are to the dog expenses. Luke was sent to the ER twice. At first, he might have gotten some irritation in his eyes for some reason, and his eyes were swollen shut for almost like a full 13 hours. It was very, very scary, but we ended up getting like eye drops and stuff, and it cleared up pretty well. And then I don't know what to this day, I don't really know what it was about, but he had maybe bruised his neck somehow. Maybe because his eyes were closed, we had to put a cone on him, and maybe he hit his head somewhere. I don't know, but he was like, that was actually really scary because he was 100% not himself. Normally, Luke is a very happy, energetic dog who loves to eat, and he would not eat. He did not want to go for walks, and that in itself was very, very scary because we knew something was wrong. But it was another trip to the ER, and ultimately we did blood tests and x-rays, and nothing showed up. He was perfectly fine, so we just gave him pain meds for his neck, and it ended up being okay. But that was $917, the second visit to the ER. Fortunately, we have Nationwide, and they gave me back $800 from that. So I ended up only being like $98 for blood work, x-ray, and then all the meds and the ER visit. So with the eye situation, it was originally $454, including some like eye exams they had to do, including the ER visit, which was $185, I think, and then the meds. But Nationwide gave us back $260. Even though we do have a fully funded emergency fund, something like pet insurance saved us a ton of money, especially if your dog is a dog like Lukey, who always seems to get himself into trouble. Okay, elegant professions. I finally got my wedding dress cleaned. It took 3 months, and while this was only $214, it was like a half-half situation, so it cost $400 and whatever dollars. Okay, so let's add everything up. Here is the total I spent in the month of December. Again, food was pretty good, in my opinion. Dogs were expensive. It wouldn't normally be this expensive, but we had the Luke situation. Transportation was expensive because of the holiday travels. We did a lot of charging on the Tesla, and then also a lot of Ubering to and from the airports and such like that. And then I also, my dad was in Houston because he flew in for work. So I paid, when we saw him, I paid for all those Ubers for him to go back and forth to his hotel. Personal is large, but it's only because I've been a little lazy and I've just been throwing everything else into the personal category. So it could also include like home stuff, it can include beauty stuff, it can include just like other random stuff. So personal is a large category. However, if I were to have like broken it down to other categories, it wouldn't be that large. But I also, did buy some things for myself. So that's it. And then money goals, I only spent $1,500 towards my money goals. Again, I'm not like super excited about that, but I'm hoping to start January off strong, so I'm not gonna give myself too much hate for that. Let's see how much I made. Again, this is how I like to lay out my payments. Because I'm a freelancer, I always put 30% aside in a high yield savings account, and then 20% goes to management. So even though I get $3,000 for Everlane, I only take home $1,500. And then from that $1,500, I put $500 towards my goals and everything else in checking. So I did a whole paycheck routine video. I'll link that in the cards, but also I might do an updated one. I haven't decided yet, but just trying to get paid has been an issue. And it's kind of just, it's been inspiring me to not rely too heavily on social anymore, because these brands just can't be trusted and it makes me really mad. So that's why we were talking about getting an investment property. That's why I want to do my budget course this year, is just to stop relying on these brand deals, because they've been playing with me and I'm just like not into that anymore. Okay, so we got deadly close to going over budget this month, 6672.36. So that left us with $322 left over from the month. And this is why I do a large cash cushion every time I get paid on time and I do make money, because of moments like this. I think I did a whole video about a cash cushion. You can see what I'm talking about. But with the cash cushion, my checking account, and my emergency fund, when these brands do play with me, I'm okay for at least like 2-3 months with the cash cushion. And then, I think the emergency fund is for 4 months or 5 months. But yeah, that was getting pretty close. That's kind of scary. Okay, so a personal accomplishment. We did an 8-week challenge with our gym, F45, and Brian and I focused on strength. And there's always a winner at the end. And for strength, it's about who gained the most muscle. And I actually won that. I think maybe it was about 2 or 3 pounds of muscle, but I am able to lift dumbbell, 43 pounds each, doing this, each arm, which is the heaviest of all the girls in my gym. So that is a very awesome personal accomplishment for me. And then for professional accomplishments this month, or last month, I actually wrote out a complete outline of the course. So all I have to do now is just start writing. And I'll probably talk about the course chapters in another video. But that was cool. And I also made a very big purchase for Master Plan. I am very, very, very excited to share it with you soon, but it is going to be, I think, a game changer for Master Plan. It's going to be a game changer for all of our budgets, but that was a very, very large expense. Action steps for the next month. So I want to write out like 2 or 3 chapters of my budget course. So the budget course, I think, will have a video component aspect to it, which is why I need to write things out and make sure I say things that I want to say. And I think that's just going to be my focus for January. This was one of my inspo pics. Here we are with my friend Amanda. I'm looking like Kris Jenner, which is totally fine. I think entering the new year looking like Kris Jenner is a good business sign for me. And we're just going to do a photo of Master Plan because I feel like we're making some pretty good business moves. Here is my dad, Brian, and the dogs at Christmas. So that was a great memory too. That was the first time my dad hung out with his family outside of the wedding. And it was pretty cool to see how well they got along and stuff. So that was really great. And my mom's hung out with them before, and my mom gets along with everyone. So that's fine. Things to look forward to, I would just say 2023. I think we're all ready for that. I mean, we're in it now, but that is the monthly overview for last month. Here is my monthly budget for December. We cut it a little close there, but hopefully the brands will come in hot with the money that they owe me. Let's just quickly go over my month of January. This is something that I normally do after I finish my monthly budget. I like to just put everything that I have to do in the next month in the calendar, just so I have my ish together. Don't we love a brand spanking new planner? It is just my favorite, all-time favorite thing is opening a new planner. I just feel so refreshed doing it. But again, we're going over things in the digital planner just to make it easier for you guys. So let's plan, where's my pen? January 2023. Okay, so here is kind of a rough look at my monthly calendar for January as of right now, the first week of January. I like to kind of color coordinate things into business to-dos. Let's do workout in purple. And then we have outings. Let's do outings in that, and then we'll do appointments in blue. So I just kind of like color coordinating stuff like this. As of right now, January is not looking too crazy yet. And if you want to see it in physical form, here's that in January. Again, I'm simultaneously doing my digital planner and my physical planner just because I think it's easier for you guys to see a screenshot of what I'm doing within my digital planner, but just know the physical planner is still bae. That is my December budget. Oof. And then my, I guess, overview for January. Let me know how we're feeling about this layout. I obviously don't have to go into my plan with me January situation. We can just do the budget, but let me know. If you have any questions throughout this video, please let me know in the comments. And remember, like, share, and subscribe. We are so close to 500,000 subscribers, y'all. Let's make it happen. That's it for me. I'm Aisha Dane. Thank you so much for watching. Happy New Year, and I will see you all next week. Bye.